David Muir, ABC's World News Tonight, America's most watched newscast. Now streaming same day with all the breaking news of the day on Disney+. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney+ every night.
Tonight there is breaking news just as we come on the air. The new video just now emerging tonight, appearing to show the ICU nurse in Minneapolis, Alex Pretti, in a struggle with federal agents 11 days before he was shot and killed. What that video then shows. Tonight there is also breaking news on the 2 federal officers who shot Alex Pretti days later. Matt Rivers on the scene for us. Also tonight, the alarming scene at a Minneapolis town hall. A man attacking a sitting member of Congress, spraying her with an unknown substance from a syringe. That man under arrest tonight. And President Trump suggesting afterward to our Rachel Scott that the Congresswoman did it to herself. Tonight, the new storm system, a potential nor'easter, the 2 tracks we're watching very closely, and the brutal cold from the Northeast all the way south to Texas. Hundreds of thousands still without power and heat. Look at the linemen dangling from a helicopter trying to restore high voltage lines. A Coast Guard cutter on the frozen Hudson River in New York City. Lee Goldberg is watching this new storm. He has the forecast tonight. This evening, the FBI raiding the election office in Fulton County, Georgia, after President Trump lost in 2020, then asking elections officials in Georgia to find 11,780 votes. What are the FBI agents looking for now? What ABC News has learned tonight. This evening, the husband and father accused of having an affair with his au pair and then murdering his wife and a man the husband allegedly arranged to come to the house. What that husband said on the stand today. Tonight, the Hall of Fame backlash. Head coach Bill Belichick snubbed on his first football Hall of Fame ballot. 6 Super Bowl victories with the Patriots, 8 in all. What Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, LeBron James are all saying tonight. And ESPN and what they've learned about the reasoning behind the decision tonight. The high-speed police chase through Los Angeles, suspects accused of loading a U-Haul with stolen property, then another car they were in. We'll have the latest. A town on edge dangling a landslide, leaving a community in danger of falling over a cliff. News tonight about Bruce Willis, what his wife is now sharing. And America Strong tonight, take a close look at this snowplow right here, clearing the way on the highway for an ambulance right behind. What that plow driver did, you have to see this tonight.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We begin tonight here with the breaking news after the deadly shooting of that ICU nurse by federal agents in Minneapolis. There is new video just now emerging tonight and what it shows. The video appearing to show Alex Pretti in a confrontation with federal agents 11 days before he was shot and killed. A man who appears to be Pretti, along with others on the scene, shouting at agents who had been blocking an intersection on January 13th. What then plays out on that video, and you'll see it right here. Meantime, another major development tonight, a Customs and Border Protection spokesperson now claiming the 2 agents who shot Alex Pretti were placed on leave immediately after he was shot and killed on Saturday, contradicting Border Commander Greg Bovino, who said at the time that those agents were still working, but in other locations. And all of this comes tonight amid another alarming scene that unfolding during a town hall in Minneapolis last night. A man seen attacking Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, spraying her with an unknown liquid from a syringe. Tonight, he's now under arrest. And after the attack, President Trump suggested the Congresswoman did it to herself. ABC's Matt Rivers leading us off tonight from Minneapolis.
Tonight, new video appearing to show Minneapolis ICU nurse Alex Pretti in a struggle with federal agents 11 days before he was shot and killed. You see a man who appears to be Pretti and others on the scene shouting at agents who had been blocking an intersection on January 13th. A man who looks like Pretti seen kicking a federal vehicle before agents got out, pushed him, and tackled him to the ground. Agents then firing gas into the crowd. But the agents got up, and the man appearing to be Pretti walked away, a gun visible on his waistband. We don't know what happened before this altercation. DHS is reviewing this video. And tonight, sources tell ABC News the 2 federal officers who shot Alex Pretti over the weekend have been placed on paid administrative leave. A Customs and Border Protection spokesperson telling ABC News the two officers have been on leave since the shooting Saturday. But that directly contradicts comments made by Border Patrol Commander Greg Bavino over the weekend.
All agents that were involved in that scene are working, not in Minneapolis, but in other locations. That's for their safety.
We asked DHS about the discrepancy. Are they on administrative leave or are they working elsewhere? And we have not heard back. According to a preliminary DHS report sent to Congress, one of the federal officers involved is a Border Patrol agent, and the other is a Customs and Border Protection officer. That report says DHS conducted a preliminary review of body-worn camera footage. And it's the first time the agency has acknowledged critical facts, including that 2 agents fired guns during the shooting. The DHS timeline says while agents attempted to take Pretti into custody, a struggle ensued, and a Border Patrol agent yelled, "He's got a gun," multiple times. 10 shots were fired in just seconds. Nowhere in the DHS report to Congress does it say that Pretti ever brandished a weapon or even attempted to reach for his gun, which he was legally allowed to carry. The report also never mentions that Pretti was disarmed before he was shot, as video appears to show. Stella Carlson speaking out to CNN. She was the woman in the pink jacket just feet away from Pretti when he was killed.
Did I think I was going to be filming a murder? No. An assassination? No. I mean, I watched him die. I remember him arching his back and his head rolling back, and it was so fast moving, but not for me. Like, when they left, when they fled, which now I see, that after the shooting, they decided to just scatter and save themselves.
Today, Governor Tim Walz making an unannounced visit to the growing memorial for Alex Pretti at the spot he was killed after speaking to President Trump. I spoke to Walz just as he arrived.
And do you believe that there will be a shift in tone here from the administration after your conversation with the president here on the streets?
I'm not so interested in a shift of tone. We just need them out of here, and we need accountability for what's happened.
Right. And tonight, growing bipartisan calls for Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem to resign. After millions of Americans saw those eyewitness videos showing that Alex Pretti never brandished or pulled out his gun before he was killed, this is what Secretary Noem said just hours after the fatal shooting.
This looks like a situation where an individual arrived at this scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement.
That ICU nurse's family called the administration's response a lie. And tonight, Republican Senators Lisa Murkowski and Tom Tillis joining Democrats demanding Noem step down.
She's a complete failure on disaster response. She clearly doesn't know how to manage. She's never managed a large organization, and she's failing at every possible measure of the job.
And after President Trump signaled he would de-escalate operations here, tensions remain high. Tonight, the FBI investigating after Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar also called for Secretary Noem to resign.
ICE cannot be reformed.
When Omar was attacked at a town hall in Minneapolis overnight.
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
A man suddenly approaching her and using a syringe to spray her with an unknown substance. Security tackling the man, identified tonight as 55-year-old Anthony Kazmierzak. The congresswoman, who has been widely criticized by the president and the administration, finishing her speech.
Here is the reality that people like this ugly man don't understand. We are Minnesota strong, and we will stay resilient in the face of whatever they might throw.
After the attack on Omar at that town hall, our Rachel Scott speaking with President Trump on the phone. The president suggesting she had herself sprayed in the attack, saying, quote, "I think she's a fraud. I really don't think about that. She probably had herself sprayed, knowing her." But there is no evidence of that. The president also telling Rachel he hadn't seen the video when they spoke last night. And tonight, violent clashes outside the Dilley Detention Center in Texas. Protesters demanding the release of 5-year-old Liam Ramos and his father. The preschooler seen here standing in the Minnesota cold last week when ICE took them into custody. First the boy, they say, to care for him, and then arresting the father, sending both of them more than 1,300 miles south to this Texas detention center. Congressman Joaquin Castro visiting Liam and his father today, posting this image, the little boy sleeping in his father's arms. A federal judge now blocking their deportation as their legal battle plays out.
And David, Borders Czar Tom Homan, now overseeing federal operations here in Minneapolis, expected to hold his first press conference here tomorrow morning. David?
Matt Rivers live in Minneapolis for us tonight. Matt, thank you. Tonight we're also watching this potential nor'easter, the 2 tracks we're watching at this hour, and the brutal cold, of course, from the northeast all the way south to Texas. Hundreds of thousands of Americans still without power and heat tonight. So Lee Goldberg with the forecast, this potential new storm now, and Stephanie Ramos on the life-threatening cold tonight.
Tonight, unrelenting cold fueling snow along the Great Lakes and frozen roads stranding drivers in the south as authorities take drastic measures to restore power to hundreds of thousands in the dark. In northern Mississippi, a lineman dangling from a chopper high in the air, working to restore high-voltage transmission lines. Trucker Darian Williams, among dozens of motorists stranded on a stretch of Interstate 22 southeast of Memphis for hours overnight.
No movement. Truck almost ran out of fuel. I had to cut it off.
By daybreak, authorities asking residents with all-terrain vehicles to bring supplies.
Please be alive.
In hard-hit Nashville, resident Carlos Whitaker checking on his 98-year-old neighbor, Gray.
Are you trying to stay warm in here, buddy?
I'm trying to get my phone charged.
Sharing some hot oatmeal in his car.
Cheers.
Arctic air turning roads to ice rinks, rendering drivers helpless. Watch this car spin completely out of control as it slides down a hill in Austin, Texas. New York City using massive melters to clear away the snow. And on the frigid Hudson River, a Coast Guard cutter breaking through the massive chunks of ice, working to free a boat that got stuck.
And David, temperatures will feel well below zero here tonight with another potential system coming to the northeast. David.
Stephanie Ramos with us here tonight. Steph, thanks so much. Let's get right to WABC Chief Meteorologist Lee Goldberg back with us tonight. Hi, Lee.
Hey, David. Many Americans getting frozen fatigue. It's just day after day in the deep freeze here in New York. We're a day 5 into a 10-day stretch. Tomorrow morning, sub-zero wind chills from the Great Lakes into the Northeast. Feels like freezing all the way down to Orlando. That's just scratching the surface. More severe Arctic pushes to come. That cold will help give life to a nor'easter, a powerful ocean storm. We're getting more confident in the storm track and some snows in the Carolinas. More of a glancing blow I-95 corridor into the upcoming weekend. Still could be heavy snows parts of Long Island, maybe Cape Cod as well. No doubt behind it, maybe historic chill down to Florida. The coldest temperatures Orlando and Miami since 2010. David?
All right, we'll continue to watch this potential nor'easter with you, Lee. Thanks so much. Tonight, the FBI raiding the election office in Fulton County, Georgia. After President Trump lost the election in 2020, the president then asking elections officials in Georgia to find 11,780 votes. So what are FBI agents looking for now? Here's Pierre Thomas.
Tonight, FBI agents searching the elections office in Fulton County, Georgia, as President Trump orders the Justice Department to investigate his false claim that the 2020 election was stolen. Fulton County officials say the agents, armed with a search warrant, were seizing records related to the 2020 elections, including ballots.
Have the ballots actually left the building?
Yeah, they're leaving the building right now.
Just 1 week ago, Trump declaring prosecutions are next.
People will soon be prosecuted for what they did. It's probably breaking news, but it should be. It was a rigged election. Can't have rigged elections.
Joe Biden won the popular vote in 2020 by more than 7 million votes, and the Electoral College 306 to 232. His victory in Georgia was confirmed by a full statewide audit and a hand recount. At the time, Trump tried to pressure Georgia's Republican Secretary of State to find him the votes he needed.
So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
Trump was later indicted in Fulton County on charges related to alleged election interference. That case dismissed late last year. David, even if President Trump had been able to find those 11,000 votes in Georgia, it would not have been enough to win the 2020 election. He would have still had to flip several other states. The Electoral College wasn't close. At the time, the president's own Attorney General Bill Barr determined there was no widespread voter fraud in the election. But now the Justice Department under Pam Bondi, quick to comply with the president's wishes. David?
Pierre Thomas live in Washington. Pierre, thank you. Tonight, the Hall of Fame backlash after head coach Bill Belichick was snubbed on his first Pro Football Hall of Fame ballot. 6 Super Bowl victories with the Patriots, 8 in all. Tonight, what Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, LeBron James are all saying about this. Here's Will Reeve.
Tonight, in a stunning development, arguably the greatest football coach of all time is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. ESPN reporting that Bill Belichick fell short of the necessary 40 out of 50 votes for induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility. Belichick won a record 6 Super Bowls as head coach of the New England Patriots, helming a dynasty with quarterback Tom Brady for over 2 decades. Belichick also won 2 Super Bowls as the New York Giants defensive coordinator. Those 8 titles more than any coach, player, or executive in football history. And yet, the Hall of Fame committee, which votes anonymously, chose to keep him out on his first try, according to ESPN sources, saying the 2007 illegal videotaping scandal known as Spygate was a factor.
They didn't think that someone who had run a years-long cheating operation should get into the Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility.
Tom Brady today speaking out on the radio station Seattle Sports.
I don't understand it. I mean, I was with them every day. If he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, there's really no coach that should ever be.
The sports world in an uproar. Patrick Mahomes calling it insane on social media. Even LeBron James saying not voting Belichick in was impossible, egregious, and quite frankly, disrespectful.
David, so far Belichick has not commented, but according to ESPN, he has asked associates 6 rings isn't enough. Belichick does remain eligible for the Hall of Fame in future classes, David.
It is puzzling. A real talker tonight, Will. Thanks so much. To the economy tonight, the Federal Reserve deciding to pause interest rate cuts, the Fed choosing to leave current rates untouched. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell today, a target of President Trump, saying, quote, the economy is growing at a solid pace. The Fed cut rates 3 times last year. When we come back here tonight, the chaotic high-speed police chase in Los Angeles. Take a look. Suspects accused of loading a U-Haul, what they were allegedly stealing right here. Also, look at this. The stunning images tonight. A town on edge, a community in danger of falling over a cliff. More on that in a moment. We have news tonight about Bruce Willis, what his wife is now sharing this evening. And take a close look at this snowplow clearing the way for an ambulance right behind. What that plow driver did. And he's standing by right here tonight in a moment. Tonight, the husband and father accused of having an affair with his Brazilian au pair and then allegedly murdering his wife and a man that they say he arranged to come to the house himself. Taking the stand today, Brendan Banfield testifying in Fairfax County, Virginia, that both he and his wife had multiple affairs. The au pair had told jurors that Banfield said he wanted to, quote, get rid of his wife. The husband today saying there was no plan, calling the claim, quote, absolutely crazy. Tonight, suspects leading police on a wild chase in Los Angeles. Take a look. Aerial footage showing a black car slamming into another vehicle and spinning out. Police say the suspects were first spotted in a U-Haul loaded up with stolen marijuana products. Officers say 2 suspects tried to run, caught by police. The search continues for a 3rd suspect. When we come back tonight, that town in danger of falling over a cliff, and you'll see this. And news tonight about Bruce Willis, what his wife is now sharing. To the index of other news tonight, a town in Sicily dangling on a cliff. Look at this, following a landslide there. Some homes, cars already falling over the edge. Remarkable pictures. 1,500 people have been forced to evacuate. Back here at home, news tonight on Bruce Willis, his wife Emma Hemming on a podcast saying Willis does not know he has dementia. She says he, quote, never connected the dots. Willis diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia. She says he still has a way of connecting with loved ones. When we come back here tonight, they put out the all call in the middle of the storm. The one plow driver who said, I'll be right there. And what he did, you have to see this. Finally tonight here, the snowplow driver, America Strong. Tonight, as so many across this country continue to deal with the brutal cold and the snow after that monster storm, an incredible act of kindness caught on a highway traffic cam. Look at this, a snowplow driver carving a path for an ambulance. Inside, a baby boy, Bryson, in desperate need of medical care. He needed to get to Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center, and quickly. Because road conditions were so bad, the Ohio Department of Transportation radioing for snowplow operators who could help. And Joe Estes answered the call, plowing the highway to escort the ambulance. Getting that ambulance slowly, carefully, more than 30 minutes to Bryson, and then bringing Bryson back to the hospital. Respiratory therapist Heather Lips was in that ambulance.
The minute that we saw Joe, we knew everything was going to be just fine. He got us there, and then we were able to do our jobs.
Tonight, the hospital telling us Bryson is doing well and with his family. And right here tonight,
hey, David,
the snowplow operator Joe Estes, who, by the way, is still on the job.
The real heroes are and always will be the folks at the hospital and in that life squad. You know, I'm just the truck driver, just plowing the way.
Tonight, Joe's modesty right here. But Joe, we think you're the hero.
Great things can happen when we all work together. Hope everything the best for baby Bryson and that family. God bless.
We agree, Joe. Thanks to you and all of our plow drivers. And we've got the same hat. Way to go, Joe. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
David Muir, the most trusted anchor in America, the most watched anchor in America. Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir the #1 newscast in America.